Hi guys, it's Billy Vowell from the Disciples, just here with my regional deck profile and tournament report from the Stevenage Regional this weekend, where I came 7th with a deck that I decided to play right at the last minute. I was playing FTK until 1 AM the day before, but I decided to switch to my old favourite deck of Trickstar. So without further ado, here's the deck profile. So we have the usual Trickstar core, so 3 Trickstar Candina, 3 Trickstar Lycris. I just felt like you needed 3 just to avoid like impermanences and Veilers and stuff, and the 1 Lilybell. Then for hand traps, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Droll, and 3 Ghost Spell. The reason I chose the hand traps I chose was basically because Bell is incredible this format. It's great against, I hit Kagaris all day with it. It's great against Thunder Dragons. It stops a lot of their key cards. It stopped a Thunder Dragon Fusion, which actually saved me getting killed by Thunder Dragons. Droll is literally a deck requirement for Trickstar, and Ash is just the best hand trap of the format. And that was it for the monsters. So for the spells, we have 3 Sky Striker Engage. Yes, I did play Sky Striker cards, you kind of need to. 3 Widow Anchor. This is kind of stolen from good friend Ping Jiao, who realised that you really need to negate Colossus, and the 1 Hornet Drones. And then obviously the 5 copies of Trickstar Light Stage, because it's possibly the best card in the deck, still really good against the pure matchup. Just locking down the back row is insane, and obviously getting a search is great. Then we played 3 Mind Control, literally because Sky Striker Links are a thing, Thunder Dragon Colossus is a thing. I don't want to deal with any of those. I can't pop Colossus. I need to either take it with Anchor or take it with Mind Control and get rid of it. Otherwise my deck can't play. 2 Caught by the Grave. People are starting to play Droll because of the FTK, and Droll's a bit of a problem for this deck. So Caught by the Grave is mainly used for that. I think I literally only used it on Droll the entire day. And then 2 Scapegoat, cards I didn't actually see very much at all. Obviously it's a really good play, it's a blowout if you resolve it, but to be honest, now it's more win more. You don't actually necessarily need to resolve this to win games. You can actually just do it by either stunning your opponent or by sort of playing a bit of tempo. And then just last spells were 2 Pot of Desires. I don't like 3. I know a lot of people are starting to play 3, but I just can't agree with that. You're never going to resolve 2. So I'd rather just have 2 in the deck. And then the only trap being the mandatory Trickstar Reincarnation. Not quite sure why Konami kept this at 3, but I'm very glad they did, because it means that I can actually play this deck and be happy about playing it. Okay, so then we have the extra deck. So we have the mandatory 4 Sky Striker Links. The reason I played 4 was just because you need the second Kagari, because you're playing Mind Control, so you want to take their links. Again, Widow Anchor can take their links, and then you want to be able to plus off of them, so you make Kagari. Hayate was amazing. Actually just attacking for 15 direct is pretty underrated. Like, you know, you can get Hayate and Lilybell there, and that's 23 directs without anything else, which is pretty good in most situations, especially in time, but I didn't actually get there that much, which was good for me. And then other links, so I had the 2 link ones of Link Spider and Link Karibo, just for Scapegoat plays. We had Trickstar Holy Angel. People don't play this, I don't get why. This card actually enables some OTKs. It enables you to burn in time, even in a game like sort of turn 1. And it's just really strong, and sometimes getting over things that are 2k is a bit of a problem for this deck still after all this time, so you really need this. Played the Nightmares, so Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Unicorn. These don't need explanations, they're just really good cards. Triple Burst Dragon, this was basically so I could just sort of whack the Sky Striker links and not care about Ray. because one of the best ways of dealing with Sky Striker is just to stop their Ray recurring. After that, their deck is kind of weak to disruption and hand traps. So, but I honestly summoned it once, and it got killed instantly upon summon. So it didn't really do anything. I had a better card for outing Sky Striker links in the side deck. So and then we had the 2 Topologic cards. So Topologic Trisbane for back row decks, of which I saw one, which was Draco, and I'll explain later, but that matchup didn't go too well. And Topologic Bomber Dragon, that card put in some work for me. Basically just whacking over stuff for mainly a guaranteed 3k damage was pretty strong. It's just a very good card in general, and you can trigger it with your reincarnations. And then I played the mandatory link forwards, which are basically, I'm going to OTK you, which is Boral Sword and Firewall. Firewall also doubles up as a Cherry Target, which I'm playing in my side deck, which I'll show you guys now. So as I said, we have the 3 cherries. This FTK, that's it. Goki maybe, but a lot of the time your main deck can get there with Goki, where you have 9 hand traps. But basically, this is just to deal with Firewall and to deal with the FTK, because that deck is ridiculous. Then we have 3 Herald of the Abyss. Right, so this card put in so much work for me all day. The variety of stuff I hit with this was surprising. This was mainly in there for Sky Striker links, for Inspector Border, and for just hitting general problem cards like hitting like Thunder Dragon Colossus if they only have 1, or at least dealing with 1. You don't mind one for one with that card because you really need it off board. But to be honest, I hit over the day. I hit a Boral Sword Dragon just so I could go for game. I hit a Fairy Tale Snow, which is hilarious because the card actually reads that you can't. Not only does the opponent have to send a card of the type and attribute that you declare, but they can't actually activate cards of that name for the rest of the turn. So basically, if you send Snow, they can't just go, right, I'm going to bring it back now. That's literally their Snow gone for the turn. So that was pretty good in the BA matchup. Can't think if I hit anything else with it, but it just generally was super strong. It basically secured me every game 3 of Sky Striker matchups. So that was that. Then I had 3 Twin Twisters. Again, I didn't face back row decks much, so it didn't go in very much. It went in against Sky Strikers, but to be honest, other cards got me there more than Twin Twisters did. I don't actually think I resolved Twin Twisters once through the tournament. So. Then we have 3-dimensional barrier, which is literally just for going first versus Thunder Dragon. If you flip this and call Fusion, that's just the end of their turn. And with this deck, if you can get like a turn ahead of them, you're probably going to be fine. You can sometimes OTK with that. If you have Goat set, then you're definitely OTKing. But if not, you can probably OTK with that. And either way, it's just a really strong card. It also hits Pendulum really randomly, which it doesn't come up that much. It was just in case basically in case I face Moffat. And then 3 evenly matched. This is just for for Sky Strikers, Auto Guys. Again, back row decks. Again, didn't face them. This went in against Draco, and I didn't see it. I really wish I had that. And it went in against Sky Striker a couple of times. I sided in a couple of them, but again, the Herald kind of put in the work for me, and the main deck did the rest. So it was pretty strong. Okay, so for my matchups, I went 5-1 in the tournament, so got good enough 7th. And my first 2 rounds were both against Burning Abyss, both won 2-1. Shout outs to Aaron Boothroyd, who I faced in round 1. He gave me a pretty close game 2. I managed to win that one, but then I managed to win out game 3. Again, the second BA player is the one I heralded for the Fairy Tale Snow, which basically secured me the game. Then round 3, I unfortunately took my loss. I faced True Draco, which was pretty much impossible for me to win. He had at one stage he had order that can only be won, and he had a Monarch's Erupt set, so I wasn't doing anything. And then the next turn he summoned Inspector Border and set 4. So that was pretty much that. for me because I was a bit silly and forgot to side the Herald against the Draco match because I did not see an Inspector border in game 1, so I wasn't sure that he was playing it. However, I probably should have known better than that. And so round 4 was against my first Sky Striker matchup, and that was against one of the guys from Team Shift, and that went pretty well. We both played terribly. We kind of were speaking about it afterwards. We both played absolutely terribly. I just played less badly than he did, and Herald just won me a free game 3. Basically, I Herald away his Link. I light stage his one of his 2 back row. I know the other one. It's either an anchor there or the other one's an anchor. He knows he has to anchor his own guy, otherwise I'm going to take it with mine, and that was pretty much that straight away. So I could pretty much go for game right there and then. Then we had round 5 was against Thunder Dragons against Michael Broadbent, a friend of mine, and that was really tight. He was unlucky. He made a slight misplay in game 2, which allowed me to win by basically burning him. He was on 200 life points for the longest time, and then he managed to make it. I managed to make it so that he didn't have any fuel for his Thunder Dragon Titan, so I could just reincarnation back a Lycoris in my end phase, and he drew for turn and lost. So Trickstar's still doing Trickstar things, and game 3 was super tight, and Mind Control basically stole me the game. I drew Mind Control along with starters, and he could only make Titan and 1 Titan, 1 Colossus. So I took the Colossus, managed to bait out the Titan, and actually I think I chain blocked it with Lycoris, and then after that I pretty much had the tempo in the game. I think I belled a Thunder Dragon Fusion to secure it, which was pretty good. And then the last round was against Sky Strikers. I was pretty nervous going into it. I knew I had to win to top, and it was actually a pretty okay 2-0. The first game was pretty tight. It took him a while to get to Ray, which really helped me, but I was pretty much in control the entire game 1. And the game 2 again, it took him a while to get to Ray. I don't know whether he was only playing like 2 field spell or 2 multi-roll or something like that. But it took him a while to get to Ray, and by the time he did, he finally made a Link, and I literally heralded it away, and light stage lockdown back row again for a game. Like light stage is a bit of a problem for pure strikers because if you know where the Widow Anchor is, then you can pretty much make sure that you're safe for the turn. But anyway, that was the deck profile and regional report from Stevenage. Shout outs to obviously everyone from the Disciples, particularly Moffat and Boothroyd for lending me cards, because I literally only had Danger FTK on me. Also shout outs to Marcus for telling me that I should start playing proper Yu-Gi-Oh! And stop playing dice rolls. Shout outs to Betty, for just kind of being there. Same for Marty. And shout outs to every one of my opponents I played. Like, I had some pretty good games. I had a lot of fun. And hopefully you'll be seeing another deck profile of me pretty soon. And hopefully the ban list doesn't hit this too hard. But yeah, anyway, thanks guys, and I'll catch you again later.